Hello everyone, welcome to the Cretaceous Campcast. I'm Cretaceous Dave, and this is a podcast all about Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Don't have a lot to talk about, but something came into my head and I just kind of wanted to throw it out there and then ask you guys what you thought about it. In the last episode, you may remember that I had mentioned Keith was the contest winner for the Cameo video from Paul-Mikél Williams. There was one thing in that video that kind of stuck with me. Not going to go over what was in the whole video. It's Keith's video. It's up to him if he wants to share it with the public. I completely understand if he doesn't. But there was one little bit that was in there that I asked him if I could share, and he said, yeah, of course. So I'm not sure if you follow on Twitter. I posted the clip, and, you know, it really got me thinking, and I'm going to throw it out here. I'll play the clip right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, you'll be able to hear it if you're just listening to the audio podcast. And after it, I'll give you a little bit of context about what question he was answering. And then I'll kind of give my thoughts on it and ask you guys what you think. So here you go. Here's the clip.
But you will definitely get to see Darius do some other cool stuff in the show, in the new show Chaos Theory. So stay tuned. I think you'll like some of the interactions that he has in it.
All right. The thing that stood out there was the word interaction. So a little bit of context for the video. One of the questions Keith asked was, which character from the film franchise would you like to see Darius interact with, or something along those lines? Paul-Mikél went into his answer, and he was explaining the character and reasons why and whatnot. And then he followed up directly after with that clip you just heard. So I was first thinking, by interactions, does he mean just things he does, adventures he goes on, places he goes? Or does he mean literal interactions with people and or dinosaurs? And based on the question that was asked right before that, I'm leaning more towards he's talking about people or dinosaurs. Could be wrong, we'll see. And it gets me excited for some of the thoughts and theories that are already floating around out there. The biggest one being Siona Santos and the Atrociraptor. We have a lot of leaks and rumors to point to the Atrociraptors being in the show. Nothing is 100% confirmed, but there's so much circumstantial evidence out there that I'm pretty sure we're going to see the Atrociraptors. With the Atrociraptors, I think there's a very high chance we see Siona Santos, not just because they are, kind of coupled in Dominion, but based on something going way back that we said early when the show was first announced, about, someone that was working on official projects with Universal before things happened, the projects, got canned. One of the things that they pitched was an origin of Siona Santos and the Atrociraptors, and the reply they got back was they couldn't do that because it could interfere with future projects. Paraphrasing, it's not word for word, but something along those lines. With all of the info pointing to Atrociraptors being in Chaos Theory, I'm guessing Chaos Theory is probably one of those future projects. Now, they could have TV shows, they could have movies, they could have other stuff written that involves Siona Santos, and maybe none of it sees the light of day. Big studios come up with things all the time. But I'm kind of thinking we're going to see her. That could be one of the interactions Darius has. The Atrociraptors, probably an interaction that he has, if he's referring to the dinosaurs and not just humans. I might be going out on a limb here. I'm thinking that there's a good chance Rain Delacourt is also in the show. We know that he is in, the same geographic area that Owen, Claire, and Maisie are in, and I believe that is in like the Sierra Nevadas, somewhere in that area. So if Darius is still near his home, which is Northern California, he is in the same area, and then we might get a better idea of the timeline of when this show has taken place. Is it close to Dominion? Is it after Owen and Claire already moved there and have the cabin, which the Maisie books kind of give us a timeline of that's maybe about 2020-ish, I think, where they go back there and build the cabin. If we ever had the third book, we'd probably know for sure. But, so the timeline kind of points out, and if that's kind of Rain Delacourt's base of operation or where he's based out of, there's a good chance we see him. It'll be interesting if he runs into poachers and stuff like that, just because of Darius's love for dinosaurs and everything. I'd love to see his reaction to someone like Rain Delacourt, especially if even then he's trying to pass himself off as someone from, Department of Fish and Wildlife. He just doesn't even look like a guy that would work for a department like that. He just looks sketchy. I'm sure the snake tattoo on his face doesn't help his cause. But, that's someone I'm kind of now hoping shows up. Not going to be disappointed if he doesn't, not getting my hopes up too much, for anything. But, I think there's a chance he shows up too. I don't think we'll see Dodgson. If we do, it's not going to be in the direct story related to Darius, because we already, saw Biosyn's involvement with Manticore, and off the top of my head, I can't remember if he saw Dodgson or not. But even if not, he saw other Biosyn representatives, so he's going to kind of know, which also leads to an interesting story of when Biosyn is all over the news about, we're having this sanctuary and we're going to take care of these dinosaurs and we're going to take things, off the hands of DFW and everyone else. Darius and, the other campers are probably sitting there thinking, wait a minute, weren't these guys trying to buy tech to control dinosaurs and do dinosaur fighting and stuff like that? Now, I could be wrong. Maybe the name Biosyn was never mentioned in front of the kids and they didn't know, which that just kind of wipes away the whole thing. But it'll be interesting to see, if they do know and remember that name, and then they see them all over the news. So that could lead to some entirely other, story or plot line that the show involves. That I didn't even think about until just now. But, what other interactions do you think they might have? If Darius is located where I just said he is, and that stuff's going on, do you think he could run into Owen Claire or Maisie? I've always said I wanted Darius and Maisie, to interact. That would be really cool. And, now there's more of a chance of that happening. So I don't know. Those are my, couple quick thoughts. Just kind of wanted to get that out there, but mostly I wanted to know what you all thought. If you're watching YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know what you think he meant by interactions. And if you think he means with, people or with dinosaurs, definitely let me know who you think. Is it Blue, which is going to be so weird. It's like the blue raptor that, helped us with the Scorpius. What is she doing here running around the mountains in, Northern California or Nevada, wherever they are? That's just crazy. Same thing if he sees the T-Rex, depending on when this takes place, where geographically it takes place. It's like, oh no, not the same T-Rex again. At least I wonder if he'll have PTSD type things, like Yaz did. It'll be interesting. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on who you think he might interact with. I'm really excited to find out. We're still, 5 months away from the show premiering, so we got a lot of time. Hopefully we get a trailer in the not too distant future. Maybe we get some more info coming out. Maybe by interactions, he literally just means Ben, which, right now we're all guessing is going to be in there. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to be disappointed if it is Ben or any of the other kids from Camp Cretaceous, but I'm kind of looking bigger picture here. So again, let me know what you think. Give the podcast a follow on Twitter at JP_Campcast, at Cretaceous Campcast on Instagram and Threads. I try to update there. It's hard. Sometimes I don't remember to. Kia is helping me out with the Twitter aspect of posting there when I don't have time. So thank you so much to UD Tyrant for that. I'll see what else I come up with to have some more content for you guys and kind of keep things fresh and rolling. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Stay safe. Stay Jurassic.